Now, the last 10 years I've been doing a lot of studying, and this has enabled me to expand my language structure. It hasn't changed who I am, but it has given me a wide array of verbiage to be able to explain myself better. And I think overall this gave me a heightened sense of well-being because I could express it. But much of what I've studied I already knew for myself, but I didn't have the words for it. And the reason why I didn't have the words for it was that I wasn't hanging around with other people that had the words for it. But I started reading, and there were some ladies and gentlemen that were authors that did have the words for it. They had done the study. And they gave expression to it. And this expression is very, very important. Expressing one's experience, I feel, is it goes very, very deep into the core of who we are. Some people like to term it creativity. On one level, I'll agree with it, that it is creation, with a capital C. But the self-worth that I have has been met by people as arrogance. And I've got enough time under my belt, enough life, and enough meeting people and experiencing things to realize that it's a certain group of people, it's a certain character role that interprets my self-worth with the valuation of arrogance, evaluating it as arrogance. And this really couldn't be farthest from the truth, except at times I have been arrogant, and yet at those times I don't have a problem admitting, I'm being arrogant now. I'm being a jerk. And when you admit it, when you own something, you take ownership of it, it can't be manipulated by another person. Because you now have possession of it. You're not possessed by it. And that's the whole point about manipulation, is that people take possession of things to manipulate them for their own ego-centered self-aggrandizement. And when you take ownership of your own values, your own being, your own behavior, it takes it to a whole different level of engagement with manipulators. And I have found that I've met these people that will go to any lengths to win, to be on top. And they will even put blinders in front of their eyes so that they do not become conscious of what tremendous jerks they are. They simply become unconscious. They're dream walkers. They're sleepwalkers. They live in their own delusion so that they can have exactly what they want. But as my studies went, I realized that there is an even deeper awareness, an even deeper presence that can make use of these great creative individuals who tinker toy, play around with the phenomena of space and time masterfully and bend them to its will. I suggest you hear that sentence over again because there's a lot there. Some call this presence a God. Uh, I don't know about that. That's evaluation. But when we enter into a new threshold of endeavor, an undiscovered territory, we do need to value things, light and dark, right and wrong, up and down, in and out, cylindrical, oblong, whatever. But we have to be very careful, and this is something that I've had a tremendous amount of patience with, it seems to me, in passing judgment as to whether it is superior or inferior. The militaristic attitude I've talked about before, the militaristic mentality, because one of the key valuations in the militaristic mentality that is relied upon is superiors and inferiors. Now, on a more general level, we could think of it as good and bad. But life shows that much good has come out of horrendous tragedies. So the valuation of a horrendous tragedy as bad, wrong, and inferior can be the catalyst to a superior, righteous endeavor filled with honor and dignity and nobility. And in my evaluation at this time, this seems to relate to mutual arising. It's a Buddhist idea I ran across, where everything mutually arises together. The light and the dark, the right and the wrong, the good and the bad arises together, and they affirm each other. They are affirmative of each other. And on another level, you could see it as the masculine and the feminine. And I'm not saying that either one is good or bad. I'm just saying that the masculine and feminine, when combined, affirm life.